Welcome to Seniors Together. I'm a doctor who has spent many years walking alongside older adults. And today we're going to uncover a topic that most people never even think about: the parts of your body after 70 that desperately need care, but are often forgotten. At this age, everyone pays attention to the big things: your heart, blood pressure, memory, or your joints. But what about the smaller parts, the feet, the skin, even your digestive system? They may not get as much attention, yet they play just as big of a role in keeping you healthy, active, and independent every single day. And when we ignore them, that's when the silent problems start to creep in. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at each of these overlooked areas, talk about why they matter so much, and most importantly, share some simple, practical tips you can start using right away. These aren't just medical recommendations. They're lessons gathered from hundreds of older patients I've cared for over the years. So let's begin this little journey together, so you can understand your body better, take care of it wisely, and enjoy your golden years with more strength, comfort, and confidence. Let's start with the feet, the forgotten foundation of health. When we talk about senior health, the feet are often overlooked, but they play a far bigger role than most people realize. Take John, a 74-year-old gentleman I once worked with. He admitted that before meeting me, he never really thought about checking his feet, until sharp, constant pain made it almost impossible for him to walk. He had to lean on his son just to take a few steps. And John isn't alone. According to NIH research, more than 60% of adults over 70 struggle with foot problems, ranging from arthritis and nail fungus to age-related deformities. Foot issues aren't just about pain, they're directly tied to balance and fall risk. Sarah, a 78-year-old woman, learned this the hard way. One day, her swollen foot caused her to slip and fall. Luckily, she didn't break any bones, but the scare was enough to push her to take foot care seriously, trimming calluses, checking her nails weekly, and staying consistent. Clinical studies published on PubMed show that regular foot exams can reduce the risk of falls in older adults by up to 35%. One often ignored factor? Shoes. John used to wear stiff, tight shoes that forced his toes into painful positions, leading to long-term damage. The CDC recommends choosing shoes that fit properly, with good flexibility and arch support. It's such a simple step, yet it can prevent years of discomfort. Foot hygiene and nail care are just as important. Sarah once tried trimming her own toenails the wrong way, and ended up with a painful infection. After getting the right guidance, she switched to soaking her feet in warm water, drying them carefully, and using proper nail tools. The difference was night and day. And then there's diabetes. John also lives with type 2 diabetes, which makes his feet especially vulnerable. For him, weekly foot checks are non-negotiable. NIH findings show that even the smallest sores can quickly become serious if left unnoticed. It's a powerful reminder that our feet are often a reflection of our overall health. In the end, foot care isn't just about physical health, it's about independence, confidence, and peace of mind. Sarah told me that ever since she started caring for her feet, she walks more comfortably, has more energy, and no longer worries every time she steps out of the house. Next, let's talk about the groin area, a hidden risk that's often ignored. For many older adults, the groin is one of those places that rarely gets proper care, but it's actually a hotspot for infections. Sarah, who's 72, admitted that she used to just rinse quickly in the shower without paying much attention to the folds of skin. Over time, that led to itching and an unpleasant odor. Clinical studies published on PubMed show that these warm, moist folds of skin are the perfect environment for bacteria and candida yeast, especially in adults over 65. Another major risk factor is trapped sweat. John, 75, shared that after exercising in the summer while wearing tight clothing, he developed a painful skin rash in his groin. NIH research confirms what many seniors don't realize: warmth, moisture, and constant friction create the ideal breeding ground for both bacteria and fungus. Doctors strongly recommend keeping the groin area clean and dry. Lisa, age 70, saw huge improvements after switching to gentle soap, soft towels, and breathable cotton underwear. The itching and odor went away, and she finally felt comfortable again. Clinical data even suggests that proper hygiene in this area can reduce infection risk by up to 40%. One striking example is Tom, 78. He developed red, itchy patches in his groin, sometimes even oozing, simply because he wasn't changing his underwear daily. After learning the right hygiene habits, including careful drying and fresh clothes each day, his symptoms cleared up quickly and never came back. Dermatology studies in older adults back this up. Simple steps like daily underwear changes and thorough drying after bathing are highly effective in prevention. Those with conditions like diabetes or obesity face an even higher risk. Extra skin folds and elevated blood sugar create the perfect storm for infections. Sarah herself noticed a big difference after improving her diet, paying closer attention to groin hygiene, and choosing better clothing. Her itching and body odor almost completely disappeared. Equally important is observation. John now checks the skin in his groin once a week, looking for early signs like redness, itching, or irritation. The CDC emphasizes that early detection of these small changes prevents bigger complications and reduces the need for antibiotics. In the end, groin care isn't just about avoiding infections, it's about comfort and confidence. Lisa told me that ever since she started taking it seriously, she feels fresher, moves more freely, and no longer worries about embarrassing skin issues. Finally, let's talk about the belly button, a tiny spot with hidden risks. The belly button is one of the most forgotten places when it comes to hygiene, especially for older adults. Margaret, who's 74, admitted that she usually just gave it a quick wipe in the shower, never thinking about how dirt and bacteria could build up over time. But research published on PubMed shows that the navel is a warm, moist environment where bacteria like staph and even candida yeast can thrive if it's not cleaned properly. Take George, 77. He started noticing redness, itching, and even an unpleasant odor coming from his belly button. The problem got worse after he lost flexibility and rushed through his showers. Clinical dermatology studies show that in seniors, the navel often traps sweat, oil, and dead skin cells, creating the perfect breeding ground for infection. Doctors recommend gentle but consistent cleaning. Emily, 71, learned to use a soft cloth and mild soap, carefully cleaning her belly button from the inside out and then drying it completely. The results were clear. No more itching or odor. According to NIH research, proper navel hygiene can cut the risk of infections in older adults by as much as 35%. Another striking case is Henry, age 79. He developed chronic umbilical infections, with discharge and pain when pressing on the area. Once he began using soft cotton swabs, cleaning gently, and having regular checkups, his condition improved dramatically, and it never came back. Clinical studies emphasize that spotting the early signs of inflammation and taking proper care are the keys to preventing complications. People with diabetes or excess weight face an even higher risk, since high blood sugar and deeper skin folds allow bacteria to multiply more easily. Sarah, 75, shared that after she began keeping her belly button clean and dry, managing her diet, and wearing breathable clothing, her skin issues nearly disappeared, and she felt far more comfortable. The CDC also advises regular self-checks. John, 78, now inspects his belly button weekly, watching for redness, unusual discharge, or strange odors. By catching problems early, he's been able to avoid stronger antibiotics and more serious complications. In the end, belly button care isn't just about preventing infections, it's about quality of life. Margaret told me that ever since she made it part of her routine, she feels fresher, more comfortable, and less worried about small but potentially serious skin issues. And as John put it, paying attention to something as small as the belly button has helped him feel cleaner, more confident, and ready to enjoy daily life without discomfort. As we look back on this journey, from the feet to the groin, and even the belly button, it's clear that the smallest parts of our body can carry some of the biggest risks. Linda, who's 76, admitted that she used to ignore these areas. But once she began paying attention, cleaning and checking them regularly, She felt healthier and more confident in her own skin. Science backs this up. Research from the NIH and the CDC shows that paying attention to often overlooked areas can reduce the risk of infections, skin issues, and even chronic conditions in older adults. Michael, age 78, shared that he once struggled with infections in both his feet and belly button. But by following simple hygiene steps, his symptoms improved dramatically. The stories of Margaret, George, Emily, and John remind us of a powerful truth. Caring for our bodies doesn't have to be complicated. It's about small daily habits: washing our feet, checking the groin, cleaning the belly button. These little routines can make a huge difference for both health and peace of mind. More importantly, this journey is a reminder that self-care isn't just about preventing illness. It's about nurturing confidence and a positive spirit. Linda said that ever since she started caring for these forgotten areas, she feels happier, more comfortable, and less worried about small health problems that could turn serious. And let me emphasize this: self-care is a lifelong journey. It's never too late to start. Emily, at 71, has proven that even simple, steady steps can transform health and improve daily life. So start today. Pay attention to your body, one small area at a time. Remember, every effort counts, no matter how small, and adds up to lasting health and vitality. John put it best: persistence, consistency, and awareness are the true keys to staying strong in both body and spirit. Thank you for joining us here at Seniors Together. I hope you'll take these lessons and real-life stories to heart and apply them in your own life. Because health is a lifelong journey, and every step matters. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, share your own experience in the comments, and subscribe to Seniors Together for more practical health tips and inspiring stories for older adults.